Mbeki, who is a South African entrepreneur and is also co-chair of the South African Institute for International Affairs.
Thank you, Julian. I was also given a very strong warning by Mark, I'm not sure where he is, hiding somewhere else over there, that I had to talk for 2 minutes. Now, many years ago, I worked for the radio, for the BBC World Service, but I know how difficult it is to measure what 2 minutes speaking looks like. So what I tried to do was, I thought if I have to write down what I want to say. Luckily, I think I've been saved by Obama, so I hope we'll have a little bit more time to discuss. Anyway, let me just go through my 2-minute presentation, which I wrote last night in the aeroplane. Some passenger next to me woke me up. He was snoring away after drinking all the way from South Africa. I hope current economic crisis will teach the Americans that the ways of the cowboy only lead to disasters. Subprime mortgages and securitization was always a Marx game, which must have been great fun while it lasted, but like Russian roulette, was bound to end in tears. Free trade, yes, I'm all for it, but I think IPN should temper its enthusiasm for free trade with some lessons from history. We, the Africans, used to catch other Africans and to sell them to the ships along the West African coast, who transported them to be on-sold to the planters in the New World. Those days, that was considered free trade. In more recent times, Pakistan sold components for nuclear weapons to North Korea in the name of free trade on the side of Pakistan. The slave trade and trade in nuclear weapons technology can hardly be described as promoting peace and harmony in the world then or now. I hope the G20 leaders come up with practical solutions, especially small practical solutions. I suspect most people in the world are skeptical about these G institutions. The G8, for example, which met at Gleneagles a few years ago, promised to do all sorts of good things to help the poor in Africa. Not much came of that. Lastly, I want to stress that we should not leave London with the impression that all or most of the world's economic problems emanate from the United States. For most people in Africa, it is domestic governments' misguided economic and social policies that are designed to benefit political elites that lead to great suffering. Above all, it is pervasive corruption in many African governments that stifle Africa's development. I hope the G20 leaders will also highlight all these aspects of Africa's miseries. I hope I covered my 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think that we would echo those remarks about the inappropriateness of expanding free trade beyond certain boundaries and the offensiveness of any trade in human individuals and the dangers of governments trading with one another in weaponry.